Yeah, so we're definitely struggling with the camera setup here, mainly because we got a standing desk and everything's a mess. But the thing I've been struggling with is this example set. So, how do you give an example of something in different frames? How do you make people see the connections between all these things that are really just the same root cause, right? Or maybe there's three root causes and they're all interacting very clearly, like the sun shining on your face, even though nobody else can sort of see it. So yeah, I mean, if you bring up an example of something like, why is why is it in the media that you see sort of media about children saving the world with no adults around? That's a good question. Um, why does that relate to, we'll say, the conversations that people are having about religious traditions? Because to me, it's kind of like the same thing, right? So you're a spiritual child and you're struggling, right? And you go from watching YouTube videos by Jordan Peterson, long form, watching somebody think, seeing how they form arguments, getting better at it yourself, right? Now you control, congratulations. Um, and then all of a sudden, you're sort of engaging with the same old material, right? And you sort of move on to live streams. All of a sudden, you're like, "Ooh, live streams are better." Why are live streams better? Why would that be true, right? Well, I mean, I think it's pretty clear, but uh, live streams are better because now you're seeing somebody do it live. It's not, it's not prepared, right? Or at least it's not as prepared as a scripted video. Um, and not all the YouTubers use scripts. I don't. Navigating Patterns does not use scripts. I have scripted 3 videos, one with Manuel that we did together, and a couple of others. But it's not like we read the script word for word or anything in either case. I'm very terrible at my own scripts. I don't know why I can't read my own writing. It's sort of shocking to me. The live stuff is more about thinking in the moment, which is what people need to be able to do. So you can see this development path from engaging with thinkers, engaging with new ideas, engaging with deep thinkers, engaging in live conversations. It doesn't even matter if they're deep thinkers at some point, because A, you want it to be someone closer to you so that you're closer to that skill set. And B, you really want to see it work in action in a practical sense. And so streams are okay, stream of consciousness, garbage like this, but 2 or 3 people in a discussion. And of course, it's prompted because I put a discussion on navigating patterns between Manuel, Bruce, and myself. And it is my second most popular video somehow. I don't understand why. It's weird. I have too many Christians on navigating patterns. Ethan suggested that I do a video on Christians are for lions, and they'll all probably unsubscribe. And I'm thinking about that. That's really tempting, just to see if it's true. But you see the pattern of going through the development process of understanding how to think better in the world, how to interact better in the world, how to going from how to be with new ideas, how to think things through, how to do it in person live, right? Not just debate style, but maybe something a little closer to just meeting somebody on the streets or something, right? That line of development is very clear to me. So I'm not surprised by it or anything. I'm just puzzled by, well, the timing, because you can't necessarily predict timing. And I'm puzzled by why other people don't kind of see the developmental issue of what's going on. And then they're sort of casting things as, religion is inevitable. Yeah, probably, but Christianity isn't inevitable. I mean, that should be clear. And so the question is, do you want the inevitability of religion to steer towards Christianity? Or are you just going to be hands off and we'll see what emerges? Because I'm fairly sure that's almost always going to be bad, at least in the short term. And I'm still a no bad things person. Like, let's try to do what we can to not have bad things. Just at work, personal preference there. Or are you going to steer it somewhere? Are you going to make the case, right? Like why, again, why is Peterson able to talk about the Bible and no one else is? Like I don't, or if they are, I don't see it. And if your argument is, oh, this is going on all the time, but if it's not visible, no one, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's good. It's not good enough. Like, be better, be better. So that's really the problem is, how do you give examples where you can show sort of the different angles and attitudes on the same thing to exemplify the pattern, right? Because you can describe it in this model, describe it in that model, describe it in this model, describe it in this other model, like 5 different models to describe something, right? But you're actually describing the same thing. So what does that mean? That means that your models suck, roughly speaking. And so, knowing that leads you out of your models to better models, hopefully. That's the thesis. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly sort of talk about that and the significance of it, because I think it is significant, and it's really what I'm struggling with. I'm still, sort of like, oh, what video should I do next? And I've got a huge list, and I'm never going to get through the damn list at this point already. And I keep adding to it, of course, because new things come up. But this problem of how do I come up with a good example and then come at it from at least 3, hopefully 4, or maybe 5 angles. I'm not even sure I can do that. Just to exemplify that the patterns that you're seeing, while useful, are not the quote truest patterns, right? They're not the most useful patterns, they're not the most pragmatic patterns, they're not the patterns that really get to the point. And I think that is, something I'm going to continue to struggle with. And every once in a while I get a glimpse, and then it recedes. So such is the state of my brain. And probably everybody else's, so I don't feel too bad. But it is annoying when you kind of get a glimpse and then it's gone like that. Especially when you're trying to do this, you're trying to get a message out to help people to understand something that you think is super important, that they're missing and not seeing, even though it's as bright as the sun. Anyway, maybe y'all will see something in here, and some of these trends that I've been talking about in the other streams. There are patterns out there that are so clear. It's just sort of shocking. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Hope you are at least entertained.